Good afternoon. This is Math with Mr. Samuels. So make sure you have your notes before you start this video. And let's go ahead and begin. So today we're talking about the properties, okay? Earlier in class today, we talked about the distributive property. So you remember the distributive property means we're distributing or multiplying whatever's on the outside of parentheses by everything on the inside. So today we're focused on these main two properties, the commutative property of addition, commutative property of multiplication, and associative property of multiplication and addition. So what is the main idea with the commutative property? So self-explanatory, pretty straightforward. Order does not matter with addition and multiplication. Okay. Oh, what does that look like? So let's look at some addition examples. First one we have is 5 plus 4. Would obviously be 9, but 5 plus 4 is the same as saying 4 plus 5, okay? Now, one thing I want to point out to you is that, yes, 5 plus 4 and 4 plus 5, the only thing that's different between the two is the order changed. But regardless of the order, the answer will still be the same thing, okay? Let's look at another example. Let's do one with some variables. Let's see. 7x plus 3 would give us the same answer if we were to do 3 plus 7x, okay? That's a good one. I like that one. Okay, let's look at another one. How about this one? 9x plus 4y is the same as saying 4y plus 9x. Both of them will give us the exact same answer, okay? Remember, we're just looking at this. Okay, the only thing that's different is the order, because the commutative property of commutative property states order does not matter. So let's do one more example. Last example is going to be -1 plus 3y is the same thing as saying 3y plus -1. Okay. So now, how does this look from a multiplication standpoint? Well, it's still the exact same thing. 6 times 2 gives us the same answer as 2 times 6. Okay. So another one. 5 times 3x gives us the same answer as 3x times 5. Let's do another one. How about this one? -7y times 8 is the same thing as saying 8 times negative, say, y, 7y. And last but certainly not least, let's do one more. 5xy times 2 would give us the same answer as 2 times 5xy. Okay? Remember, with commutative property, order does not matter. Order does not matter. Order does not matter. Got to remember, order does not matter. Okay, so when we start identifying these, I'm going to ask you guys to ask yourself a couple of questions. The first question that I'm going to ask you is, did the order change? The next question that I'm going to ask you, was there any regrouping? Which leads us to our associative property. And the main idea of the associative property is grouping does not matter when multiplying or adding. Okay? Grouping does not matter when multiplying or adding. So let's look at an example. If, let's say, we have 5 plus parentheses 2 plus 3, okay, that will give us, oops, sorry, that would give us the same exact answer as if we were to regroup it and say 5 plus 2 plus 3. Okay, let's look at this for a second. What we have here, over here, what is happening? Over here we have 2 plus 3 in parentheses. Over here, we have 5 plus 2 in parentheses. So you got to make sure you pay attention to that. All we did is regroup them. The order did not change. If you look, we have 5, 2, 3, 5, 2, 3. The only thing that changed is the regrouping. And both of these will be the exact same answer. Let's look at another example. What if we had 6 plus x plus 7 would give us the same exact answer as if we were to do 6 plus x in parentheses plus 7. Okay, both of these are exactly the same thing. Let's do 2 more examples. 9x plus 3y plus 1 would give us the same answer as 9x plus 3y plus 1 in parentheses. Okay, notice how both of these are the exact same thing. Okay, only just over here we have 9x and y grouped together, and over here we have 3y and 1 grouped together. One last example we're going to have. One last example we're going to have is this. Let's use some variables. Let's use some variables. So let's say we have x plus y plus z in parentheses, and we regroup it to be x plus y, close parentheses, plus z. Okay, those are all of our addition multiplications, our addition examples. So now what we're going to do is create a couple of multiplication examples. Let's go ahead and do one. -6 parentheses 2 times 3 is the same as doing parentheses -6 times 2 in parentheses and having the 3 on the outside. So let's look at this really quickly before I progress. We have -6 outside the parentheses, 2 times 3 inside, and we have -6 times 2 inside the parentheses, and then times 3 on the outside. Okay, so one thing I want you to do is I'm going to do one more example, and then I want you to create 2 examples on your own. Come up with your own using the associative property. Okay, so the next and final example that I'm going to do is, let's say we have 3x times 4 times 5 is the same thing as 3x times parentheses 4 times 5. So go ahead and create your own example for the last 2, and we're going to discuss it in class more in depth. Once again, this is Math with Mr. Samuels, and today we talked about the commutative property, which means the order does not matter with addition and multiplication, and the associative property, Grouping or regrouping does not matter when we multiply or divide, multiply or add. Sorry about that. Have a great evening. Make sure you complete your homework and your notes. Make sure you also press done on this video. Have a good one.